Hi, my name is Lori Willis. This is my final presentation project for Business 343. We'll begin with PowerPoint introduction slide and progress from there. My name is Lori Willis, and I'm the Human Resources Manager for the Picasso Company, represented by Lodge 821 of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, IAM. I recently had the opportunity to create a first shift leader position for the company at the request of the employees. After review and consideration of the employees' terms of qualifications to consider for this first shift leader position, as well as my own development of qualifications, I determined that there were two viable candidates. These candidates are Robert Elder and Mary Younger based on their seniority status. Next slide. Qualifications for the first shift leader is determined by myself and review. A knowledgeable employee to whom others could turn for help and who could troubleshoot and offer suggestions or do whatever else was necessary to make the operation run more smoothly and efficiently. Also a self-starter who did not need to be told what to do. Next slide. Potentially relevant contract provisions of IAM Lodge 821. Section 20.1 Awarding a Job Bid. When job openings occur, or there are vacancies in classifications covered by this agreement, excluding leader classifications, shall post on its bulletin boards a notice of such opening or vacancy, indicating the rate of pay for a period of 3 days, in order to afford employees an opportunity to qualify for such opening or vacancy on the basis of seniority and ability to perform the available work. Section 20.4. In filling vacancies in leader positions covered by this agreement, the corporation agrees to give full consideration to seniority and qualifications of employees in filling such vacancies. Next slide, candidate review. Machinist First Class Robert Elder, seniority date March 10, 1987. Mr. Elder previously held a shift leader position for the second and third shifts for 5 years until he resigned due to family obligations. Determined to need instruction, lacks initiative. Prior concerns with communication skills and prior concerns with flexibilities as a leader were determined through the interview process as well as past work history. Machinist Second Class Mary Younger, seniority date July 6, 1991, rated as a qualified machinist without promotion due to no vacancies, determined a self-starter with initiative, and determined to have good interpersonal skills. Next slide. My positions of issues. Both candidates were given the opportunity to apply and interview for the first shift leader position based on their seniority. Both candidates were interviewed with the same questions regarding initiative, communication skills, decision-making ability, and scheduling flexibility. Both candidates' interview results were discussed with Supervisor Rick Hatch. Supervisor Hatch had a higher evaluation for Younger than Elder. Supervisor Hatch also had knowledge of Elder from his previous shift leader position and shared concerns of Elder being capable of meeting determined qualifications of first shift leader. Next slide. Contention that my selection of Mary Younger did not violate the contract. My choice to select Mary Younger is not in violation of the contract. I did adhere to contract provisions 20.1 and 20.4. Adherence to 20.1 indicators where both employees possessed seniority and were given equal opportunity to interview and acquire assessment of necessary qualifications to perform available work. 20.1 also indicates that it excludes leader classifications. Adherence to provision 20.4 indicators and filling vacancies in leader positions covered by this agreement, the corporation gives full consideration to seniority and the qualifications of employees in filling such vacancies. Both employees were given equal opportunity to interview based on their seniority. Next slide. Research to support position taken. In union representative workplaces, seniority drives the majority of decisions regarding wages, hours, vacation time, promotion, overtime, preferred jobs, and other benefits and privileges. These terms and conditions of employment are agreed to in a union contract. This is also true of skilled trade workers when represented by a union. Labor unions protect workers' rights and negotiate for better employment terms and conditions through collective bargaining. A healthy working relationship between management and union officials is vital to prevent and resolve workplace disputes. The Human Resources Department supports, guides, and trains managers to help them maintain effective working relationships with unions. Next slide. The employer must respect the role of the union as the sole and exclusive agent of the employees. The union must respect the employer's exclusive right to manage its operations and to direct its workforces. Both parties must recognize and acknowledge their respective rights and obligations under labor and other employment legislation and under the collective agreement, and the rights and obligations of employees covered by the agreement. A grievance is a legal mechanism by which the union and the employer resolve disputes between them about issues in the workplace. Examples are given. Next slide. My selected plan of action is to participate in discussion with Mr. Elder and his union representative in regards to the case and his concerns. During this discussion, I will openly discuss with Mr. Elder and his representative consideration for the first shift leader vacancy and why I made my ultimate decisions not to choose him. If it is determined by Mr. Elder and his representative that there is further need for continuing his grievance by appeal, I will willingly participate and continue to stand my ground on my decision, as I am confident that this is not a violation of the contract. If appeals progress to arbitration, I will have legal counsel selected to finalize this case. It is my conclusion after research that my decision to promote Mary Younger is not violation of contract. Both Mr. Elder and Ms. Younger were equally considered based on their seniority, and my decision was made based on Mr. Elder's prior shift leader experience and the qualifications deemed necessary by the employees and myself for this new first shift leader position. Thank you.